He says, want me to go ahead and keep going here?
Yeah.
Okay. A word from the Sedra, from this week's Parsha. In this week's Parsha begin the Makos, the plagues, that strike Pharaoh.
Mm-hmm.
However, these Makos were not meant for Pharaoh at all. After all, what significance does Pharaoh have? God could have given him pneumonia. He could have dropped dead for all we care. So the plagues were not for Pharaoh, but they were not for the Egyptians. The plagues were for us in order to teach the Jews a lesson. Okay? Not only was that in the time of the Egyptians, but that applies for all plagues that take place until today. That they're always to teach Jews a lesson.
Yeah, I heard Rabbi Miller say if you see a one-legged Puerto Rican hopping down the street, that's a message for the people of Israel.
Absolutely. In Eretz Yisrael, do not think that the Makos they are having are because of the Arabs. It's the Israeli Supreme Court who is causing it. They're causing the plagues because of their legislation advocating the toleration and teaching of the homosexuality in the public schools as an acceptable lifestyle. That's what's causing it. It's the wicked Shimon Peres who called David HaMelech, King David, an adulterer, and that minister of education, I won't mention her name. They finally had the good sense to remove her. They are the people that are causing the Makos. He continues, when we look at the Holocaust, God did not bring it upon us for the purpose of building Holocaust museums, so people could grit their teeth in anguish at the memory. The plague was brought so that we should know. A certain Frum newspaper hailed the town of Lodz in Poland. By the way, I have family members from Lodz, as a bastion of Torah and fear of God. What they failed to report that it was also the main headquarters of the Bundists. Do you know who they were? Who were they?
Labor.
They were like socialists, right? And atheists. Lodz was a town that also had was a bastion for the atheists and the socialists. I saw with my own eyes in 1932. I stood on a bridge of Slobodka, which is the yeshiva he went to, on Shabbos. And I saw Jews leaving for work on a bus every half an hour. On Shabbos, Jews get piling onto a bus every half an hour. By 1938, 6 years later, it was one busload of Jews every 5 minutes heading to the camps. So you see, it's Mida Keneged Mida, measure for measure, right? You can see where the plagues came down. Let me see.
Okay, great.
You want me to just leave there?
Yeah.
Is that all you want to hear? You
Yeah.
can't take any more? All right, we'll hold there.
So do you have anything else you want to say this week? I mean, we had a pretty dynamic show.
That was an amazing show. We can wrap it up in 1 hour and 15 minutes.
We have the Lakewood Rav says that if Miss New York would only come to his apartment and wrap her legs around him, then he would be saved. See, that's an example of sex addiction, thinking you can't live without sex, or that someone else can fix you. And this is a low blow. The Talmud says, like Levi feels anything for the Holocaust. I want you to know there's nobody in this world who's more opposed to the Holocaust than I am.
Who, you?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, and I was when other Jews were just I don't want to make waves during the Holocaust, I was out there, I was carrying signs, I was ringing bells, I was I protested out front of the White House, I went on this 80-day hunger strike, I marched with Martin Luther King, said that blacks could have the right to vote. I mean, I was active, there was no Jew more active during World War II to oppose the Holocaust than I was.
You were out there.
I was.
Very good.
Yeah. I asked them, fly me behind the lines. Let me take on these guys, but they wouldn't. So Heshi Fried finally got engaged to a Chabad girl. Mazel tov, Heshi Fried.
Oh. He's not my good friend. He was saying, don't forget. Somebody was saying, somebody in the chat room was saying that I should wish my good friend Mazel Tov. I didn't know who he was talking about. I had no idea. So I was like, I don't know what he's talking about. And then they mentioned this guy's name, but he's not my good friend. I have cut him off over a year ago.
So, is it important that the kiddies out there stay in yeshiva?
And Faith says, Rabbi, I'll email you more questions every now and then. Oh, perfect. That sounds good. Do you want to cut it off now, folks? Any other questions you guys have? We have 10 minutes before we have to call it quits. Any other?
No, we'll just launch into some Alexandria. We'll do some Alexandria.
Want to do some Alexandria?
We'll do it live, and if they got questions about what we're doing, then we'll address them.
Okay. So do your thing.
Okay.
No, do your.
So it's important that the kiddies out there stay off the crack and stay in yeshiva.
All right.
Now we're going to let everything roll live.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring out the table.
Do that. Oh, I'm going to go up.
You're going on the table.
I'm going to get operated on tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
And if you guys have any questions about